What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and today we're going to be starting a brand new game. Now I did a few adventure games in the past. We did Life is Strange, we did the Edith Finch story game, which is probably the best one out of the two. I'm not really sure what the name of the game was called, but basically I'm going to be starting a new series today. This is going to be live just so that I don't have to edit it, because when you do a long series like this, it takes so long to record 20-minute parts of every episode and then cut them all together. So this is going to be a series which I'm going to be doing. I'm going to live stream it. There's not going to be as much interactivity with the chat, but I am still going to interact with the chat, and we're basically going to join in on this brand new adventure game. So this is an adventure game called Dear Esther. Now I'm not really sure the story behind this whatsoever, but basically all I know is that it's kind of a story-driven game where it has different parts, but the scenery of the game is supposed to be really beautiful, and it's supposed to be, I think, some kind of ghost hunting thing, or some kind of, I guess, ambience game, which is pretty cool. So we're going to play the first chapter. We have Sorry Gaming in the chat. How you doing, dude? You're good at making videos? Well, thank you very much. So we're going to start and we're going to play this chapter, and hopefully there's going to be some cinematics, hopefully there'll be some sounds, hopefully there's going to be a little bit of a story to it. But yeah, we're going to jump into this, and I kind of want to stream probably to the end. I want to try and make this a brand new series.
Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me. When he first landed here, Donnelly wrote that the herds were sickly, and their shepherds the lowest of the miserable classes that populate these Hebridean islands. 300 years later, even they have departed.
Interesting so far, okay. So we've washed up on some kind of shore. I guess it's going to give us some kind of story directives. It's going to show some text on the screen. It's going to kind of give us part of an adventure to go. I guess the music so far is really nice, but I'm not sure if this music is going to be copyrighted. I'm hoping this music is not copyrighted. Sound quality, master volume. Right, I'm just going to keep the music on. If it does happen to be copyrighted, I guess I'll probably have to take the videos down, but hopefully it won't be. So we've got some kind of boat here, I guess, which is pretty interesting. Not really entirely sure what this boat is. I guess we've just come on the boat, because this is where I guess we landed on the shore. It doesn't look like it's crashed. It looks like we came here voluntarily, and it does seem pretty interesting. So I guess we're going to start off our adventure at this lighthouse. Okay, so the music stopped, so we dropped off for a minute, but there's good ambient sound so far, so we're kind of setting off an adventure. There is obviously a lot of time taken into the detail. We've got some plants here, which you can see these plants are one-sided, but these do seem to turn on the direction you go to, which is pretty interesting. So there's a lot of good time being put into the surroundings, and I'm not sure how big this island is. Maybe everything is going to take place in this one house. So we'll take a look. We've got an abandoned boat here. Anything where it's just an island with a lighthouse is always fishy. That kind of thing is always interesting. So let's walk inside the lighthouse. Okay, we've got a flashlight. So if we walk outside, we've got no flashlight. But as soon as we go inside, it automatically turns on. Now, I'm not really sure what I'm expecting here. I don't know if we're going to expect some kind of horror experience, but we're already hearing some kind of sounds in here. And the sound has gone from a peaceful kind of ambience to a very dark sound. We have rusted mirrors, we have dirty sinks, we have more wind. It almost seems like when we go outside, everything's more peaceful and realistic, but when we go inside, the sounds of wind. Okay, this is a different entrance. Wait, what? Oh yeah, this is a different entrance we went in. I thought the interior changed as we went out. Okay, so we've got some water machines, we've got some boilers. I think we have some paint cans here, which has no real relevance to what we're doing. Okay, let's carry on. I'm going to traverse into this room and see what else is inside. But it seems kind of weird how there's more wind in here. Everything's a lot more windy. There's a lot more noise. I don't know who has gone in that toilet. Whoever sat on that toilet has been eating all the kinds of wrong foods. That's all that I know. Right, what's down here? So we've got lots of stuff on the floor. Whoever's lived here has not lived particularly a very clean life. We have a few books. We can zoom in with E. What's this book say? It says something to do with Grandpa or something. That's a very ancient book. I presume whoever lived here is pretty ancient as well. Right, inside. That's probably the cleanest sink that I've even seen in this whole place. So we have a chair. Wait, can we sit down on the chair? We have various documents. I'm just going to walk through the place until something seems to happen. I'm kind of just appreciating what everything looks like so far. They've obviously taken a lot of time to kind of add all of the ambience in the sounds, and I guess they've really set the scene with the scenery. Now there's a spiraling staircase, but I don't think we can go up this staircase. But what's at the top? At the top of that is the lighthouse, but what is at the top of the lighthouse? That's what I'm interested in. Right, we have some paint here. So someone's used the whole paint can to draw some kind of graffiti. Okay, interesting. Right, so we're going to go out the lighthouse. We're going to continue. There does seem to be kind of a hilltop or a path which does lead to the hill. So I guess that might take us everywhere. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear all these sounds as well. So the bottom of the island is kind of abandoned. There's not really too much to see. But we do see a red light in the distance, which you might see flickering on there. And I think that might actually be another lighthouse. So I guess we've got two options. We could go to the top of the cliff, or we could go to the bottom. So I think we'll go to the top next. So we'll go to the bottom. We'll see what's hanging down under here. And I'm guessing we can't just jump in the water. Because, wait, what happens if you... What happens if you go under the water? What the hell? It's like there's a demon underwater. As soon as you go underwater, everything shakes just uncontrollably. Okay, so I'm interested what this red light thing is. So I'm going to try and... Wait, how do I get back up here? Okay, I'm going to just keep following this path. The only thing which kind of annoys me, though, is the fact that you can't actually sprint. So we're going to have to walk extremely slow, which is kind of nice, because I guess we can take in the scenery. But we're going to have to walk extremely slow, and I don't know where this path ends. But the island does seem a lot bigger than we initially thought, though. Because originally I thought the island was just like a small round thing with a lighthouse. But it does seem like we're on a pretty big island here. And it looks like it might be set in somewhere like Scotland or Ireland. It is a pretty big island. But what might be interesting though, is we might actually find a cave. Maybe there's like a cave or a pirate cove down here. Somewhere we can actually explore. We have a metal basket, which is interesting. Just the random debris which you always see on beaches. Okay, so if we keep following this path, it looks like there's kind of an archway which we can go under. And I'm not sure what that's going to lead us to. But there's just various rocks. For some reason it just makes you see black, and you see like a demon face or something strange when you go underwater. So I'm not really
Those
quite
islands
sure.
in the distance, I'm sure, are nothing more than relics of another time. Sleeping giants, somnambulist gods laid down for a final dreaming. I wash the sand from my lips and grip my wrist ever more tightly. My shaking arms will not support my fading diaries.
Okay, so we're playing as some posh British man. So I guess the further we go into the island, the more diary entries he has, and the more he talks. I mean, what's this? This looks like some kind of alien crop circle in the sand. But yeah, so I guess as we continue, he's gonna just talk about things. So I guess we'll learn more as we go along, which will be pretty interesting. Wait, does this game have a save mode? I'm hoping this game will save as we continue, because I don't want to stop at some point and lose the entirety
I have
of
found
our
the
progress.
ship's manifest, crumpled and waterlogged under a stash of paint cans. It tells me that along with this present cargo, there was a large quantity of antacid yogurt bound for the European market. It must have washed out to sea. God knows there are no longer gulls or goats here to eat it.
Interesting. So not only does this guy sound extremely posh and British, it seems like this game might actually be set in the 1800s or somewhere. It seems like we're back in time at some point, or we're set in like a very old age. So this isn't modernistic. I'm pretty sure this guy is like some sort of sailor from the 1800s. So there's nothing else to see this way, so I guess the only other method we can do is walk back up the mountain. Which is kind of annoying because we're going to have to walk manually all the way back, which is pretty frustrating, but unfortunately this guy can't sprint. Wait, can he actually... Wait, actually, can he sprint? What's the controls? Edit keys and buttons. Swim up. Okay, there's barely any controls. All there is walking and seeing. So I'm guessing we're not going to have any weapons on this game. This game is just purely story driven. There's not going to be any action whatsoever. All we're just planning to do is just find things. Right, so we'll continue. We'll try and go on top of the mountain, and we'll see what's on top of the mountain. But yeah, the game's probably going to stretch on for quite a while, which is why I'm probably going to have to do a few parts of this. So I would presume that when we go on the top of the mountain, it will lead us into the main part of the story, because we've only just started playing this some 10 minutes ago at this point, so obviously the game's not going to finish within 10 minutes. So okay, so we can actually go the other direction of the beach, so maybe we'll actually find something else on the beach. So I guess we could walk up here first. I think this is the path which I came down on, so we can, wait, is there actually any, we can zoom in actually. Okay, so there's nothing really down there. I don't really want to waste time just hovering across the sand, so we're gonna go on top. This guy walks extremely slow. I've said this so many times, but it's almost like he has some kind of walking problem. Okay, so we're on a holiday, we're out on the sea, we're just seeing what's happening. We've got a lot of crops around and some plants, and hopefully, just hopefully, we can see what this red light is, because that red light looks like an electric tower. I'm guessing it's going to play a crucial part in the story, so I guess we have to do something with the tower, or maybe it's just there for show. So that's the lighthouse we came from, if I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure we came from there, and this way is the way we're supposed to go, right? Wait, I'm pretty sure we came from there, or maybe that's an abandoned lighthouse. We've definitely been to one of the lighthouses.
A wonderful sight. The moon cresting the junction between the cliff path and the stone circle. It cast a shadow of the ridge across the beach, all the world as if you had signed your name in untidy handwriting.
Interesting. Okay, so not really much to go on so far, just kind of admiring the view. I do want to play another game after this though. There is a game called Firewatch, where you're supposed to be a survivor and you have to explore in the woods, and you have a compass, and I guess you have to survive and find food maybe. So I do want to play that after. I was playing a game called Witch Hunt before, which was a horror game. And
when someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
the infection. Right, so there's an infection on the island. If I'm honest, I'm not really understanding half of what this guy says.
Those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation. It was stolen by a visiting monk in 1776, 2 years before the island was abandoned altogether. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradiction?
So this guy is still speaking mumbo jumbo. I don't know what kind of language he's talking about. It's all very old world English. So he's talking about some kind of illness, then he's talking about monks and something to do with religious stuff. So I'm not really sure what he's talking about, but I guess as we're going to continue, he's just going to talk more swaffle, and I guess we're going to learn more about it. Personally, I think so far the game looks really nice, but the story I'm not really getting the hang of. I feel like in terms of adventure games, I think Life is Strange is probably better, so I will probably finish Life is Strange. But I feel like I've kind of started here on an adventure.
Dear Esther,
so
I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
interesting, right? So
I would leave you presents outside your retreat, in this interim space between cliff and beach. I would leave you loaves and fishes, but the fish stocks have been depleted and I've run out of bread. I would row you back to your homeland in a bottomless boat, but I fear we would both be driven mad by the chatter of the sea creatures.
So we're definitely playing as someone who's a sailor, and now we're in some kind of cave, I guess, with paintings on the walls, which looks pretty interesting. Kind of like cavemen looking things. I'm not sure, I guess this is just normal paint. But we've had the main character who's in the title of the actual game mentioned, and we've mentioned a few other characters which we're not sure about. So, I guess we'll just continue and see if there's any more clues. Interesting. Right, what's this? Oh, we have some fish and some paint. Okay, we have more paint and we have some fish. So we will continue. Keep it up from Surrey Gaming. Oh, I appreciate that, dude. Thanks so much for watching, man. Okay, let's continue. We have some water. We have some bodies of water. We did see, though, before we went in the cave, I think... Wait, is this the same path we went in? I feel like I've literally just gone in a circle. But yeah, as we went in the cave, we saw some kind of abandoned boat. So I'm not sure which path we're supposed to be taking now, because this path almost leads to the same thing. And wait, what? Wait. Every time we go in the water, there's some kind of weird effect, which really worries me. So I feel like it's not really giving me any incentive where to go. This is the kind of part in games where I'll always start a series and then I'll get extremely stuck on the game, and then I'll either completely scrap the series or I'll finish the part because I feel like it's gonna start getting boring because I don't know where to go. But I mean, I guess we could kind of look at a walkthrough. I could probably find some information on where we're supposed to be going, but I feel like wandering and just learning everything yourself is a lot more interesting. So we came down this path, we went into that cave, and as we went into the cave, it took us out in the exact same place as when we went inside it. So maybe we go back inside the cave, maybe there's an exit which I missed, maybe I have missed something, I'm not quite sure. Or maybe we can kind of walk along the sidelines and it'll lead us somewhere. We have someone else in the chat. As you know, we are streaming this live stream, and we have Hey I'm Ruin. Came here from your H1Z1 videos and liked your content. Hope to see your channel grow a lot bigger in the future. Well, I appreciate that, dude. I really appreciate you watching, man. That means a lot, man. Thanks a lot, dude. But yeah, I do expect to actually release some more H1Z1 videos. The new season is starting, so this is a little bit off topic from the game we're playing, but the H1Z1 Season 4 should be starting, I think, tonight. So for anyone that does play H1Z1, aka Z1 Battle Royale, I will actually be bringing out some more videos, probably next season. So probably in the next week or two, I'll probably plan some more H1Z1 videos. So I know there's a few of you here who are subscribed from the aiming tutorials and a few of those H1 videos I've done. So hopefully you guys will enjoy those videos. I will try and bring out a little bit of content on H1 again, probably in the next week or two. So I do really appreciate that, Ruin. So I won't let you down, dude. I will be releasing some more H1 content soon. So hopefully that should excite you. Not really sure what I'm going to do yet. Probably going to bring out some more guides and tutorials to the new players, because I feel like if we are going to revive the game and bring back more players, I feel like we do need to kind of give new players tips, because they're kind of getting put off the game, I guess, which is kind of a shame. Okay, so when we went in the cave the first time, there's no other way we can come out, so I guess I didn't really miss anything, unless I'm supposed to be walking up to all these so my character says something. I'm not quite sure, but I don't really think we seem to miss anything, so I guess we're just going to continue doing what we're doing. Now, we're probably going to end this first part probably in about 5 or 10 minutes, because I want each part of the series probably to be about 25 to 30 minutes. So we are kind of reaching the end of the first part, and I feel like we're reaching the end of the game, I guess, because even though I've been playing for 20 minutes, I feel like the game has a lot more to offer, but I also feel like it's not giving me any clues on where I'm supposed to be going. So I guess I'm just going to go where we came from and just go to the source. I guess the first place we began at was over there at the lighthouse, so I guess I'll just go back up the path, because I personally thought that we were supposed to be going towards this abandoned ship. But how are we supposed to get to the ship when we can't go up the rocks and we can't swim in the water? So it doesn't really make so much sense to me. What I'm thinking though is I think we came from up there, so either we go up this path or we go up that path. But the problem is I can't remember exactly where I came from, so I guess we're just going to take the right path, which I think the right path is the right path, if you know what I'm talking about, because actually this path is heading towards the red light tower, which is something which we did want to have a look at the start, so hopefully we will kind of...
He still maintains he wasn't drunk, but tired. I can't make the judgment or the distinction anymore. I was drunk when I landed here, and tired too. I walked up the cliff path in near darkness and camped in the bay where the trawler lies beached. It was only at dawn that I saw the bothy, and decided to make my temporary lodgings there. I was expecting just the aerial and a transmitter stashed in a weatherproof box somewhere on the mount. It had an air of uneasy permanence to it. Like all the other buildings here, erosion seems to have evaded it completely.
Okay, so we get some more clues about this guy's adventure and why he's here, and we talk about the rock erosion and the scenery on the island, and this kind of looks like a mini Stonehenge. There's just random structures of rock, like these rock pines. There's not really any more clues we can get. I'm not sure if these paintings actually mean anything, and I'm not really quite sure what the drawings are called, because back in the caveman times they did have drawings on the inside of caves. I'm not really sure what those were called. It just completely went out of my head, but not really sure if they have relevance to the story. Not really sure if I'm supposed to be picking up on that, but hopefully the guy will just keep continuing giving us some content on the story, because it's kind of like a backlog at this point. It's kind of like the further we get into the game, the more he's kind of talking about his past experiences and he's talking about the future. But what's interesting now is if you look back there, everything is really light, but if we actually traverse through these, I guess, can you call it a ravine? I think this is a ravine. Everything's got a lot darker, the mood has kind of changed a little bit, and we do kind of have a few animal sounds, and it looks like we're going down even deeper. Okay, something's gone black. I feel like we're moving to the next level. So something's happening. Something's happening where it's getting dark, I guess.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Okay, interesting. So that marks the 22nd minute of this video. So it took 22 minutes to complete the first part. So we're kind of getting into the thick and thin of stuff. So I'm going to end part 1 there. I'm probably going to continue part 1 tomorrow, or kind of periodically stream maybe once a week or a few days a week to continue. And I do kind of want to hope to reach the end of this game because it looks pretty interesting. But I also have Life is Strange Before the Storm to actually complete as well. So now I have 2 adventure games to complete. I'll probably have to do this first because we've kind of just dived into it. But I will end the first part here. I do want to say thanks to anyone who joined the chat. So Surrey Gaming who joined the chat, and Hey I'm Ruin. Anyone who dropped by, anyone who watched, thanks a lot. And anyone who typed in the chat. So if you do want to see more parts, obviously if you are watching this as a video on the channel afterwards, then definitely do smash like and comment below if you want me to continue the series, because this probably isn't going to get many views, probably going to get like 20 views, but for me it's just a fun game. So make sure to subscribe, like, and leave me a comment if you want me to complete the series. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you